Hi everyone, it's Malonb or Malonb Brews from Facebook or Malonb Shop. I do have a few things to show you, so I'll just start off with those. The first thing I think I did show in my last video, I was doing the Zelda Hearts cross stitch piece and I did finish that. It looks like this. I just made it with a recycled piece of burlap material, and for the actual needlework I used crochet thread because that's what I really had handy. I think it worked just fine. If you guys are familiar with Zelda, I'm sure you would recognize hearts. And I know you guys saw, if you did see my last haul, I did receive I think 3 or 4 of these hoops, and I do plan to sell this as is. So I did just actually glued it on the actual fabric. I glued it on inside, of course, and I just covered it with a piece of felt so you're not able to see the ugliness of the inside. The next thing, well, let me just start with that. If you guys have seen, I don't remember which video it was, but it was probably maybe my second to last, or maybe like my third video back. I don't remember exactly, where I showed you guys a couple of bowls I've made. Well, I think they started as knitted wrist warmers. One was too big compared to the first I made, and I had no idea why they weren't so wrong. But I told you guys I would redo it, repurpose the yarn, and I made it into a bowl. I did actually finish felting it, and this is it. I don't remember, I think I showed it to you guys before felting, and I'll probably go back and try to see what video it was, but this is the final product. And I don't remember the exact size. I should have taken like before and after pictures, but I completely forgot. Anyway, this is a complete bowl. The sides go in, of course, and I'm pretty sure I showed the metal hole here. I don't know if you guys can tell or not. It didn't close up completely, but if you guys can see the stitches, they did pretty much, you know, come together to make like one uniform kind of material, which is pretty good. I like it a lot, and I actually had to felt it twice. The first time I did it, and I just threw it in my wash. The first time I did it, it didn't come out so uniform, so I threw it in a second time, and this is how it came out. I actually finished this last night, and it's still not completely dry, so I'm just leaving it on my table, you know, laying flat, and I'm pretty sure it will dry that way. I also did make another one. Again, I don't remember if I showed this one at all, because this yarn was or is also 100% wool. And again, I should have taken a picture, I guess, but it was one of those Martha Stewart's like really mini skeins of 100% wool. And I think it said it was roving, not really yarn, what they called it. And I got one because I think it was Joann's, or I think it was Joann's. I found it for $1, so I was like, you know, I'm gonna try one bowl. I think I can try a couple. And I did use up the whole skein for this, so this is, you know, all I can get out of it when talking like bowl size. I also do like this one a lot. The sides don't go up as far, but I do like this one a lot as well. And I know I did have one more, and actually I didn't grab it, but you guys remember that that yarn I told you I had like a mini ball of, that I had no idea if it was wool or not, and I thought it felt like wool, so I tried doing the same. I know I made a bowl with it. I probably did show you guys that it's not wool, or not anything that you're able to felt, because it did not felt. I think it shrunk, but all the stitches are still individual stitches. None of them, you know, came together or anything, so you're still able to unravel that. I have no idea what I'm making with that, so and I didn't grab it to show you guys, but maybe I'll show you next time. Again, I have no idea what I'm doing with that. The next thing I made was another little pig. This is a pinkish one. It's the same yarn I used for the frogs, if you guys remember that. I did make the whole body with that, which of course I then made it fuzzy. I don't know what's on the leg here. And the other pieces, like the nose or the the ears or the legs, I just made with regular red hearts. I had this color that is pretty similar, so I just used that, and I didn't make that furry or whatever you call it. And I actually did look it up. Again, from the videos that I saw where people brush the wool or brush their yarn in general to get the fibers out like this, they use brushes for pets, like the ones you would use like to brush your cat or dog, and it's meant to take the hairs out. So I mean, I think that's a good idea, but again, I just used the rough side of like some Velcro I had, which also works pretty good. I'm also pretty happy with this little pig. The only thing I had to do different was make the eyes from felt and glue them on. Again, because it is kind of furry. I know the last one I used the fabric paint for the eyes, but being furry, that didn't really work out so well. The next thing I made is a knitted thing, and actually it came from that book. Maybe I'll grab it, or I'm sure you guys remember that book I told you I was gonna try to do a review on. Try to make all the projects in it and try to learn from that. It's a little bag. I don't know if you guys can see it. Well, actually, let me open it up, I guess. It will look like this. I just made a crochet chain for the ties, and I did use a couple of new techniques here. For example, actually, let me grab the book. It's this one called a helix hat, and if you guys can see, the top is all close in together with even sections. Now my bag did start off as a hat. I worked it from the top down, I guess you can say, and I worked it from the top down, again in the round. And I don't know if you guys can notice or not, or can see or not, but do you guys see that pattern at all, like that equal section pattern? I don't know if I can focus it correctly. Okay, can you guys see that at all? Because I didn't see it. I really didn't. And the more I worked on it, the less I saw it, until I did kind of turn it into a bag type, and then I could kind of see like where the natural separations go. And that was somewhat even. So I was like, maybe. See, that's like a bad picture right there. But that was my mindset. I wasn't happy with the hat. I did not make it as big as a hat, because while increasing, I didn't see the pattern on it. So I was like, this is probably a fail. And because it's somewhat there but not complete, I see it as kind of a fail. But at least I guess I learned the technique that that's supposed to be and how it's supposed to look, even though I didn't actually do it. So since I kind of made it smaller than a hat, I decided to jump into the second project, or well, the next project in the book, which is to make a bag. I'll show you guys that. Is this honeycomb bag. And obviously I didn't do a honeycomb or didn't use a honeycomb stitch on it, but what I did learn from the bag was how to make the little eyelets. If you guys can see, I use the eyelets to thread the tie in and out from. So I did learn how to do that. And for that back, they also teach you how to do the peacock stitch. I don't know how to say that correctly, which is, you know, like a type of edging that kind of makes it pretty. But I did learn how to do that. I did maybe a couple of inches, but it took way too long for me. So I just undid it and just did a boring old cast off. And then I made a tie, and I was like, you know what, I'm done with this. So there you go. And I probably will use this actually for a swap. I'm doing a swap via one of the Ravelry groups. So I'm kind of excited about that. The theme is your favorite childhood hero or something like that. And my partner's is SpongeBob and Patrick, if you guys are familiar. And this is, you know, pinkish, so I think I can definitely tie that in. I probably will add a surprise inside, you know, something like that. So that was my other completed project. And well, I do have one more completed one. I made a cover or case, which is really easy, you know, again, just, oh, actually, yeah, I think it's just single crochet, really easy with a variegated yarn. And I made one to cover my DSI XL because I actually got one recently. And if you guys know at all about these things, it's nothing new. It's actually one of the older DSs out there, but I did need it for my collection. I did collect them. So I was like, you know what, I'm getting one. I will end up using it. I think that I did have the regular size one, and what I love to do with that the most was use it for my amigurumi. Actually, I used to take pictures of them before making the faces, or, you know, adding details that I wasn't sure where I wanted them to be. So I would take pictures of them, and in the DSi you're able to edit the pictures, you know, you're able to draw on them, etc. So I would draw on it and then post it up somewhere, well, my Facebook really. I used to post them up on my Facebook and ask, you know, which looked the best, you know, changing the position of the eyes or the details or whatever. So I probably will or may start doing that again. I think it's one of the funnest parts of it. And this actually is not a finished project per se, but I did want to show you this because it's, again, one of my favorites, and maybe I just wanted to let you guys see it. I did dye some yarn a while ago, and I actually dyed this with coffee. So the color isn't all that, I mean, it's not that special or anything, but it's my first piece dyed with one of the natural dyes, again, which is coffee. So I do kind of like it. The one thing would be that it does kind of still smell like it. So maybe if I use it up, I would probably need to wash that one more time. I'm hoping the smell goes away. I actually haven't really tried to air it out either, so maybe that would also work.
Are there still